Hard to Kill, Even Harder to Endure. Hard Kill stars Bruce Willis, Jesse Metcalfe, Natalie Eva Marie, Texas Battle, and a gentleman by the name of Sergio Rizzuto. That sounds like a bad cheese and wine combo you get from a goddamn dime store gas station. And it involves an AI program named Project 725 that was created by Bruce Willis's character Chalmers, as well as his daughter Eva. Actually, Eva was the one that mostly created, but he also put a failsafe code in there because if this thing falls into the wrong goddamn hands, then the world could fucking end. Because that's what you want to do with an AI program. You want to make sure that if anybody bad gets it, that the entire world could be destroyed. Why does everybody design AI programs like this? I don't fucking get it. And in case you can't tell from that tone right there, I didn't fucking like this movie at all. It was goddamn dog shit. It was cliched from the opening credits to the end credits. And speaking of the end credits, I find it funny, one thing about this movie, it takes place mostly in a warehouse. Like 85 to 90% of it is in a goddamn warehouse or around a goddamn warehouse. And you can tell this is cheap. Here's the kicker though. In the cast, in the credits there were 6 producers and 22 executive producers listed. And I fucking counted. I couldn't fucking believe it. Did everybody just chip in like $100, a few pizzas and a few ham sandwiches and said, okay, we're going to call it good? They should have chipped in a little bit more for Eva Marie's acting coach. Yes, if you're not familiar with Natalie Eva Marie, if you're not a wrestling fan, if you are a wrestling fan, yes, Eva Marie is actually fucking worse here than she ever was on promos in WWE. That's saying something. Speaking of wrestlers, or at least somebody that sounded like a wrestler, Texas Battle. I swear, that gimmick happened sometime on World Class Championship Wrestling programming in the 70s/early 80s, before the Von Erichs and Freebirds decided to fire up and launch World Class into the stratosphere, temporarily. But yeah, Eva Marie's goddamn terrible. The sad thing is, she's not even the worst part of this. Bruce Willis, who has been in a whole bunch of great movies, and some bad ones, but in some top, high-profile movies, I swear, either he owed the director a favor, the director had incriminating evidence on him, and threatened to use it, or he just was bored and said, yeah, I'll be in this for a few $100, what the fuck, I don't fucking care. And, a bit wrong for me to, accuse the director of that, but seriously, this movie was fucking terrible. You have Jesse Metcalfe's character, Derek, who has he's kind of leading a quiet life, but he has a dark past. Of course he does, because why the fuck wouldn't he? He has a few flashbacks to some military service, but it's done in the most generic way possible. You can't possibly have any sympathy for his character. He is called upon by a former friend former colleague named Fox, played by Texas Battle, and there's a gentleman, Chalmers, Bruce Willis, who helped create this AI program and everything, but his daughter was kidnapped. His daughter has this project, this program, and there is a villain named The Partner, because how else could he be anything other than a villain with a name like The Partner? If you can't trust somebody called The Partner, who the fuck can you trust? And the idea is to basically get the program back, get the daughter back, before both codes are united, the father and daughter codes, and the program is launched. And then the world gets destroyed. The AI program 101 shit there. So, they all meet at a warehouse. This all happens, by the way, within 15 minutes. Within 15 goddamn minutes of a 90-minute runtime, they're there. They get half the money up front, this ragtag group of 4 people, Derek and Natalie Eva Marie playing the character of Sasha. She wishes she could be fucking Sasha on screen, but she can't. They're all there. There's a couple other guys, and it's just fucking ridiculous. They find out, oh no, we're outmanned and we're supposed to take down all these other guys. How the fuck could they not have known? One character knew, and he's like, I fucking told you guys. So what follows is a series of shootouts and a series of bullshit, and Chalmers being locked in the room, and eventually his daughter gets away. They reunite, and before that, though, Eva's talking to, Eva the daughter, that is, not Natalie Eva Marie, is talking to the partner and says, I trusted you. I wanted to use this program to test it out. I didn't want to actually use it for evil, even though you know what it can fucking do, you goddamn idiot. And you trusted somebody called the partner. And then the whole save the daughter thing is absolutely goddamn cliched. The father and daughter do reunite, then eventually he's captured. Then eventually she's captured. I just don't fucking understand how anybody thought this was a good idea. It's like they did these scenes in one take. It's just fucking insane. Everybody is like, there's a few people that are shot. They're holed up in this one room that everybody could easily goddamn find, while these mercenaries on the bad side are just getting killed like it's like a factory line. They're all getting offed. And, the partner's like, oh yeah, no, this guy Sergio, yeah, it's totally fine, it's totally fine. It's great plan, great plan. boss, a bunch of soldiers are dying. We don't have an endless supply. They're good men, but it's for the greater good. Wait, that's Seth Rollins. And from there, we have this one guy in the in the group that basically sees his one of his colleagues die and decides to take the daughter and basically betray them and get the money. It's like, dash, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. And then that doesn't fucking work. Everybody goes on a goddamn rampage. Well, Derek does because he's one of the only people left, and he decides to kill everybody. The code gets, activated, and nothing happens with this AI program. There's this random lady that just shows up, this Asian lady that's, part of the mercenary group, and I don't remember seeing her before. She just suddenly pops right in, and she's like, oh, fuck this, I'm not going to be part of this. And then the partner and Derek have a fight because the partner shot him in the back, many, many, many years ago, or a few years ago, or a few months ago. I don't have a goddamn clue. I don't care about the timeline. And they have a fight, and then Chalmers shoots the guy. So Derek can't get his revenge, but the partner's shot. The program's disabled. Everybody needs a drink. And I fucking hated this goddamn movie. Fuck everything about this. Fuck everybody involved in this goddamn thing. I think this might have actually replaced Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight as my least favorite movie. Or at least it's right below. But anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.